And they said, we were very clear from day one. We're not in the airline business. We're not in the transportation business. They used the language that they were in the freedom business. They were going to start this company to, quote unquote, democratize the skies, to make it as affordable, as accessible, as flexible for middle class, rank and file, working Americans, people who were driving long distances in their cars to travel by air as it had been for business travelers or the well-to-do. And all of the strategies and tactics in business practice that developed over the years, which were completely at odds with industry convention, they didn't develop just because, hey, it'd be cool to be different or it'd be cool to be a maverick. They developed them because it was the only way they knew how to deliver on the impact they wanted to have. They invented a new way to be an airline because they had in their mind something different they wanted to achieve as an airline. So what did they say? They said, we've got to simplify everything about this business. So I'm going to get on this plane to Boston tonight. There'll be 300 people on the plane. All 300 of us are probably paid a different fare with all the insane yield minute. There are 3 different fares at Southwest Airlines, as simple as pie. They don't use the hub and spoke. You go from point A to point B, hubs, and you got to transfer planes on. They only fly one kind of plane. Their entire fleet is Boeing 737s, which means they get very good at maintaining the planes and fixing the planes and turning the planes around. They took a business which would make your hair hurt in terms of its complexity as an operational business, said, we can do this really, really simply. Second thing they did is they said, we want to rethink the personality of the business. And we all know that most airlines are essentially at war with their customers every single day, and it's just a horrible, horrible experience. And Southwest said, you know what, how hard would it be to make it a little more fun, a little more entertaining, a little more pleasant to fly this airline? So they have gone out of their way in the last 35 years to hire people not based so much on what they know, that this is a prior industry experience. If you apply for a job as a flight attendant or a ticket agent at Southwest Airlines and you say, hey, I've got 5 years at Delta, I've got 10 years at United, that is a very bad thing to say. Not for the pilots, I should have to add, but for everybody else, it's a very bad thing to say at Southwest Airlines because they assume that you have learned all sorts of bad habits at these other airlines that they're going to have to deprogram you from before. So they're looking for people with a certain personality type. What makes you tick? They can teach you the technicalities of an airline. And finally, they said, oh, there you go. I think you got a pop. I think you leaned against it by mistake. That was folks from United Airlines were sabotaging the thing. Then they said, you know what? We are going to rethink the market so we can serve a piece of the market that had not been served up to their point. And you add it all up, and I felt it so viscerally when I was down there, and I felt it so clearly at so many of the companies I went to see. The folks at Southwest Airlines don't just think of themselves as a company. In some modest way, they think of themselves as a cause. They are a force for change, a force for reinvention, a force for something positive in an industry that is profoundly broken.